Great citizens of the interwebs, and welcome back to the Linden Tree Backrooms. Today, I don't know where we are, but there's better lighting. The book of the day today is Stash by Laura Cathcart Robbins. And by book of the day, I mean book I'm using to prop my laptop on while I film this. So today, in the spirit of being gay, I'm gonna recommend some books for Pride Month, and I'm gonna tell you about the books that other people have recommended to me for Pride Month. Right. Okay. So first, some gay books, some gay umbrella term books, some books with LGBT plus themes that I've actually read. We only have three books, guys. It's not looking good. Three symbols. AO3. Okay. Anyway, so into the books. Let's get on to the books. Let us get off of this tangent and on to the video. Book number one, Walt Whitman, Leaves of Grass. This is the Penguin Classic Edition, so basically for context. So context number one, Walt Whitman is a very famous American gay poet. There's quite a few. So Walt Whitman and also Emily Dickinson are two famous gay American poets. So Walt Whitman, Leaves of Grass, it's just poems about life and stuff. I'm not good at describing a poetry collection. It's a poetry collection. It's a collection of poems. I think they're sorted into categories. But this edition doesn't have the categories because this edition is confusing and worthless. Put that away. What was I talking about? Right. Leaves of Grass. I really like this book. So actually it's a funny story, It's a funny story. It's a funny story because basically, I was hanging out with my friend Daniel, and then Daniel introduced me to his friend Wednesday. My storage limit. Shut up. Um, and so he introduced me to his friend Wednesday, who's like really into like books and reading and stuff. And I'm like, I like books and reading and stuff. Anyway, so Wednesday and I were hanging out. And she gave me her copy of of Grass, which I have at my house, and it looks very different to this. It's like a hardback. It's like it literally looks three times as long. I don't know what they. It's like the same font size, so I don't know what they did to this book. They just kind of, I guess, like compressed it. I think it still has all the same stuff in it. I guess they just must have put the book like in one of those like clamps and just you know. Um, what does this have to do with Pride Month? Well, Walt Whitman is gay, and I think he's awesome. So that's about it. It it's gay people. The next book that I'm recommending that I've actually read, that is The Song of Achilles. Now, you could come in, it's fine, I'll just cut this part out. Alright, so, what was I saying? This next book, The Song of Achilles, um, it's very gay. If you don't know about it, I'm gonna teach you about it. But I feel like most gay people have heard of this book. We know, guys. We understand. But sorry, the other book fell on the floor. I'm gonna have to overuse that fine boom sound effect so much. I just put it on my computer for this video. Yippee! Okay, that's enough stupidity. Right, so this book follows Patroclus? I'm not a Greek scholar. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I read Homestuck 5 years ago. Okay, so yeah, this book follows Patroclus. So this book follows Patroclus, and like him growing up and his relationship with his father, and ancient Greek stuff, like selling your kids. Um, and then it follows the story of him and Achilles and their relationship and the Trojan War and Greek stuff. It's good. It's gay. If you like gay people and you like being sad, perhaps you even enjoy being sad and gay, read this book. If you like having water inside your body, like you don't like crying until you become the Sahara Desert, don't read this book. It's really sad. It, guys, it's really sad. Okay, that's enough brain damage. Now, on to the final book. This Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I'm gonna be honest about this book with you. I'm gonna be so honest about this book with you. It is amazing. It is life-changing. I hate this cover though. Because, girl, he literally does not look like that. That's from the movie. That's from that movie in the 1920s. He does not look like that. He literally does not look like that, guys. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. He does not look like that. Anyway, um, now you may be asking me, Mark, Frankenstein isn't actually gay. To which I would say, number one, you're wrong. Have you considered how wrong you are? Now you may be asking, well, if it's subtext, does it count as gay rep? And the answer is, to me, kind of. Now I need to go in the witness protection here a little bit, okay? But you just gotta trust me on this, all right? Like it's gay. It's pretty clearly gay. It is not stated to be gay, but like it is gay. Like you know in Squid Games where like it's gay, but they never say that it's gay, but like it's obviously gay. It's not because they like queer baiting you. Although a lot of shows do. Don't get me wrong, a lot of shows do. But also, things can be gay without you having to say, oh yeah, mega gay, right? Like, so yeah, so that kind of covers it for the books that I've actually read. Um, so now we're gonna go on to some books that I haven't read. Yippee! Alright, section 2 books I haven't read. Now, you may be asking, Mark, why are you recommending books that you haven't read? And the answer to that is this Pride Month, I've decided that I could do whatever I want, actually. Now, 3 of these books I do intend to read, but I'm gonna start with the one that I actually have no intention of reading. Uh, and that is Red, White, and Royal Blue. Now, you may have heard of this because apparently it's popular on the internet. My friend, who is going to the same school as me, and who also went to the same school as me. Kind of crazy how that works. Um, they were like, "Hey, I really like this book, and I read it instead of doing my final projects." And I was like, "Hey, maybe don't do that because if you get kicked out of school, then we won't be at the same school next year." Anyway, Red, White, and Royal Blue is a gay romance between two boys. And so one of the kids is they're teenagers. It's YA. It's YA. And so one of the kids is the president's son, and the other kid is some British guy. Like, I'm pretty sure he's. Wait, what is it? Yeah, he's the prince. So he's just some British guy. Um, I've been ranted at, raved at, been told it's excellent. Do I have any intention of reading it? Absolutely not. Would I much rather watch Young Royals, which I also don't haven't watched yet? Yeah. But if you like Young Royals, you would probably like this. Um, so I would recommend if you like it, read it, but I'm a hater. Uh, it's true. I'm a hater. Okay, next up. See, last night at the Telegraph Club. So in the last video, you know how I was talking about how Randy Rebai, you know, the hit author and really cool star of Cooking with Randy, was my English teacher. So this book was actually recommended to me by him because I think in some essay for English class, you know, I was like complaining about life and he was like, "Hey Mark. Hey Mark, you're gay and Asian, right? Here, you should read this book." And I was like, "Cool, thanks, Mr. Rebai," and then I never read it. But I'm planning to read it. So yeah, Last Night at the Telegraph Club is a historical romance set in the 1950s. Um, two girls in Chinatown, gay lovers, something like that. I'm really good at plot summaries. I keep almost dropping books on the floor. Okay, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now, this is has a funny story because it's been recommended to me by my friends and also by a teacher of mine. This is a recurring theme. Now, you might understand the fact that I have no friends and my teachers are my only friend, and that's not true entirely. But I mean, it's kind of true. Okay, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is about this girl boss actress who's like, okay, I'm gonna die, so I'm gonna have this like young reporter kid show up to my house and interview me, and I'll tell them everything, and then they publish it after I die. Yeah, it's got drama, it's got spectacle, it's got gay content, you know, all the things, your Pride Month necessities. This was actually recommended to me by a friend of mine that I know through my school's GSA, and then also by my calculus teacher who runs said GSA. They both said it was good, and I believe them. I do intend I this and last night these three books that I was just talking about, I do very much intend to read at some point, hopefully this month, but we'll see. And then the last book is Gideon the Ninth. Um, my good friend, my good real life friend, who I like very much, Mr. Wren, he was like, "Hey Mark, are you reading Gideon the Ninth?" And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "It's good, you should read it. It's like fantasy or something." I don't think he used those words. And I was like, "Cool." He was telling me about it, and then I saw people, the girls posting on Tumblr.com about it. So I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll read it. When a stranger on Tumblr's opinion is more convincing than my actual like one of my actual real life best friends. But it's okay. It's okay. So Gideon the Ninth is about um gay people who hate each other and also necromancy, I think. That's what I've gathered. I honestly don't know much about it because I tend to go into books blind. So, read it with me, guys. I'll send updates. Yeah, so those are the books that I actually recommend and the books that have been recommended to me that I am planning to read for all of the and yeah, Pride Month, gay books. Yippee! So that basically concludes the video. Now I have to do the mandatory YouTuber like, or guys, remember to like and also subscribe and check out our links in the doobly doo, the down below.